Listen to me very carefully. What if I told you that in the next 58 minutes, I'm going to reveal the exact psychological method that Andrew Carnegie used to accumulate over $400 million, that Henry Ford used to revolutionize industry, and that Thomas Edison used to create over 1,000 patents? But here's what most people will never discover. It's not about working harder. It's not about having more capital. It's not about connections or luck. It's about one specific daily practice that forces the universe to respond to your financial vibration. If you act like money flows to you every single day for the next 30 days, and I mean truly embody this state, not just think about it, your entire financial reality will shift. This is not motivation, this is instruction, this is documented fact, not opinion. My name is Napoleon Hill, and over the course of 25 years, I studied more than 16,000 people who went from poverty to wealth. I discovered that every single one of them used what I call the wealth magnet method. They acted as if money was already flowing to them before it actually was. Now, I need you to do something right now. Stop whatever else you're thinking about. Turn off your phone notifications, because what I'm about to share with you in the next hour is the difference between spending the rest of your life struggling for money or having money seek you out like metal to a magnet. You see, there's a hidden law operating in this universe, a law that the wealthy 1% understand but never speak about publicly. It's the law that governs how money moves, where it goes, and most importantly, why it flows to certain people and away from others. While you've been conditioned to believe that money is scarce, that you have to fight for every dollar, that you need credentials or connections to succeed, the people who possess real wealth operate from a completely different reality. They act as if money is abundant. They act as if opportunities are everywhere. They act as if success is their natural state. And here's the shocking truth. The universe responds to their acting. It literally rearranges circumstances to match their embodiment of wealth. Every day you continue to act poor, even if you don't realize you're doing it. You're sending a signal to the universe that says, keep money away from me. Every day you act broke in your thoughts, your words, your daily habits. You're literally repelling the very thing you say you want most. This costs you potentially thousands of dollars in missed opportunities every single day. But what I'm about to show you is exactly how to reverse this pattern immediately. Not in months, not in years, starting today. The method I discovered is so powerful that when I first shared it with a group of businessmen in Chicago in 1937, 3 of them became millionaires within 18 months. One of them, Clement Stone, used this exact technique to build a $100 million insurance empire. But before I reveal this secret, the specific daily actions that force money to flow to you like metal to a magnet, you need to understand why everything you've been taught about wealth creation is not just wrong, but actually working against you. You're about to discover the most closely guarded secret of every person who has ever accumulated significant wealth. The secret they use daily, but never discuss publicly. The secret that makes the difference between those who struggle their entire lives and those who seem to effortlessly attract abundance. Are you ready to discover what separates the wealthy 1% from everyone else? For 25 years, I had unprecedented access to the minds of America's wealthiest individuals, not their public personas, their private methods. Andrew Carnegie personally commissioned me to discover the exact psychological patterns that separate the wealthy from everyone else. I interviewed Henry Ford in his private office. I spent hours with Thomas Edison in his laboratory. I studied John D. Rockefeller's daily habits. I analyzed the thinking patterns of over 500 millionaires and 16,000 successful people. What I discovered was not what I expected. While others teach generic success principles, what I'm sharing with you today is the specific method, the exact psychological technology that every wealthy person uses, whether they realize it or not. This is law, not theory. This is documented fact, not opinion. You see, I discovered that wealth is not primarily about money. Money is simply the physical manifestation of a specific mental and emotional state. When you learn to embody this state, when you act like this state is already yours, the money follows automatically. But here's where my discoveries go beyond what anyone else teaches. I found that wealth attraction operates according to divine laws, spiritual technologies that govern how the universe responds to human consciousness. These are the same laws that govern gravity, electricity, and magnetism. They're impersonal, they're exact, and they work every single time when properly applied. Andrew Carnegie told me something that changed everything. Napoleon, the secret is not in getting money. The secret is in becoming the type of person that money flows to naturally. While modern success teachers focus on tactics and strategies, I discovered that wealth is first created in consciousness, then manifested in reality. The external actions are important, but they're secondary to the internal state of being. This is why you can give two people the exact same business plan, and one will succeed spectacularly while the other fails completely. The difference is not in the plan, it's in their level of wealth consciousness, their ability to act as if success is inevitable. Every billionaire I studied, every single one, had mastered this one principle. They acted like wealth was their birthright before they had any evidence that it was true. They embodied abundance before they experienced it. They thought, spoke, and behaved like wealthy people while they were still poor. In a moment, I'll reveal the exact method, the specific daily practices that force this transformation. But first, you need to understand the costly mistake that keeps 99% of people trapped in financial struggle their entire lives. Because what I'm about to expose will probably shock you. It's the reason why people who work the hardest often earn the least. It's the reason why intelligence and education don't guarantee wealth. It's the hidden psychological trap that keeps even the most motivated people spinning their wheels year after year. Are you ready to discover what's really been holding you back? You've been conditioned to act like a poor person, and you don't even realize it. Every single day, from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, you're unconsciously demonstrating to the universe that you're not ready for wealth. Through your thoughts, your words, your daily habits, your body language, you're broadcasting poverty consciousness. Let me show you exactly what I mean. When you check prices before making any purchase, you're acting poor. When you complain about bills, you're acting poor. When you worry about money running out, you're acting poor. When you delay important decisions because of cost, you're acting poor. When you focus on what you can't afford instead of what you want to create, you're programming yourself for continued scarcity. When you discuss your financial problems with others, you're reinforcing poverty patterns in your subconscious mind. From childhood, you were taught to be realistic about money. You were told that money doesn't grow on trees, that you have to work hard for every dollar, that rich people are somehow different from you. You were conditioned to believe that wanting wealth makes you greedy or selfish. These beliefs are not serving you. They're destroying your financial potential every single day. While you're busy acting poor, checking prices, worrying about expenses, and focusing on lack, the wealthy 1% are acting from abundance. They're making decisions based on desire, not fear. They're investing in themselves and their dreams without hesitation. They're embodying wealth consciousness every moment of every day. And here's what this is costing you. Every day you continue these poverty patterns, you lose approximately $274 in potential opportunity. That's $100,000 per year in missed income, delayed promotions, rejected proposals, and opportunities that pass you by because your energy doesn't match wealth frequency. 5 years from now, you'll look back on this exact moment, right now, as you're listening to these words, and you'll realize this was the turning point. Either you'll remember this as the day you decided to transform your relationship with money forever, or you'll regret not taking action when you had the chance. Because here's the truth. Every day you wait, every day you hesitate, every day you continue acting like a poor person, you're programming deeper poverty patterns into your subconscious mind. You're making it harder to escape the financial trap. Right now, as you're listening to this, there are people half your age earning 10 times your income. There are people with less education, fewer connections, and fewer natural advantages who are living the lifestyle you dream about. The only difference between them and you is not talent, not luck, not circumstances. The difference is that they learned to act like wealthy people before they became wealthy. They embodied abundance consciousness before they experienced abundance in their bank account. While you're scrolling social media, comparing yourself to others, feeling frustrated about your current situation, successful people are implementing the exact method I'm about to share with you. They're not waiting for perfect conditions. They're not waiting for more information. They're not waiting for permission. They're acting like success is inevitable, and the universe is responding by making it inevitable. Every month you don't implement this method, you're leaving approximately $5,000 on the table in potential income increases, business opportunities, and wealth-building activities. That's $60,000 per year in lost financial growth. But that's not even the most painful cost. The real cost is the compound effect. The wealth you don't build this year could have been worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. The confidence you don't develop now affects every future opportunity. The window for implementing this method is not unlimited. Every year you wait, your neural pathways become more rigid. Your poverty programming becomes more entrenched. Your subconscious resistance becomes stronger. The people who implement this method in their 20s and 30s become multimillionaires. Those who wait until their 40s and 50s still succeed, but they have to overcome decades of limiting beliefs. Those who wait until their 60s often run out of time completely. Your family and friends are unconsciously invested in keeping you at your current financial level. When you start acting like a wealthy person, they'll try to pull you back down to their comfort zone. They'll call you crazy, unrealistic, or selfish. They'll remind you of all the reasons why wealth is impossible for people like you. This is why most people never escape financial mediocrity. They're more afraid of what others will think than they are committed to their own success. But what I discovered in my 25 years of research will eliminate all of these obstacles permanently. The method I'm about to reveal doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your identity. It changes how you see yourself, how others see you, and how the universe responds to you. The secret that changes everything is the most powerful psychological principle I've ever discovered. It's the principle that separates temporary success from permanent wealth. It's the principle that makes the difference between those who struggle for money and those who attract it effortlessly. Are you ready to discover the hidden law that governs all wealth creation? The hidden law that governs all wealth creation is this: the universe responds to who you're being, not what you're doing. Let me explain what this means in practical terms. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is sending a signal to the universe about your identity. The universe then rearranges circumstances to match that identity signal. If you act like a poor person, the universe sends you experiences that confirm poverty. If you act like a wealthy person, the universe sends you experiences that confirm wealth. This is the act-like principle that every wealthy person uses, whether consciously or unconsciously. They act like success is inevitable before they have any evidence that it's true. They act like they deserve abundance before they've earned it. They act like opportunities are everywhere before they can see them. And here's the remarkable thing: the universe responds to their acting by making it reality. Modern quantum physics has proven what I discovered through observation: consciousness creates reality. Your thoughts and beliefs literally influence the behavior of subatomic particles. Your mental and emotional state affects the probability of certain events occurring in your life. When you consistently act like money flows to you easily, you're programming the quantum field to arrange circumstances that make money flow to you easily. Here's what the wealthy 1% know that they don't want you to discover. Wealth is not created by hard work alone. Wealth is not created by intelligence alone. Wealth is not created by luck or connections alone. Wealth is created by consciousness. Specifically, wealth is created by embodying wealth consciousness before you have any external evidence of wealth. This is why some people can lose everything and rebuild their fortune quickly, while others can win the lottery and be broke within a few years. The person with wealth consciousness naturally attracts wealth. The person with poverty consciousness naturally repels it. Thomas Edison understood this principle perfectly. When I interviewed him, he told me that his greatest invention was not the light bulb or the phonograph. It was his ability to act as if success was certain, even in the face of repeated failure. Edison failed over 1,000 times before successfully creating the light bulb, but he never acted like a failure. He acted like a successful inventor who was simply discovering what didn't work. His identity never wavered from successful inventor to failure who keeps trying. The universe responded to his unwavering identity by eventually providing the solution he was seeking. But that's not even the most powerful part of what I discovered. What I'm about to reveal is 10 times more important than everything I've shared so far. It's the specific mechanism that makes the act-like principle work automatically, without willpower, without constant effort. I discovered that when you consistently act like wealth flows to you, you activate what I call the wealth magnet in your subconscious mind. This is a psychological mechanism that automatically seeks out and recognizes opportunities, ideas, and connections that lead to money. Most people have their wealth magnet set to repel because they're constantly acting like money is scarce, difficult to obtain, or not meant for them. But when you learn to act like money flows to you naturally, you flip the switch from repel to attract. Henry Ford told me something that perfectly illustrates this principle. He said, "Napoleon, before I built a single automobile, I acted like the world's most successful automobile manufacturer. I walked like one, talked like one, made decisions like one, and thought like one. People thought I was crazy because I was acting successful before I was successful. But that acting programmed my mind to recognize opportunities, attract the right people, and make decisions that an unsuccessful person would never make." Ford acted like a successful businessman for years before he became one. The universe responded by making him the most successful automobile manufacturer in history. Now, you might be thinking, "Napoleon, this sounds too simple. If acting wealthy makes you wealthy, why isn't everyone doing it?" The answer to that question reveals the most closely guarded secret of wealth creation. It's the secret that separates those who try this method and fail from those who use it to build fortunes. The secret is that most people try to act rich instead of acting wealthy. There's a massive difference, and understanding this difference is worth millions of dollars to you. Acting rich means spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't like. Acting rich is about external appearance without internal substance. Acting wealthy means embodying the consciousness, the decision-making patterns, and the daily habits of truly wealthy people. Acting wealthy is about internal transformation that naturally creates external results. I discovered that the act-like principle operates on 3 levels. Level 1, physical acting, how you move, dress, and present yourself. Level 2, mental acting, how you think, plan, and make decisions. Level 3, spiritual acting, how you relate to the universe and your purpose. Most people only operate on level 1, which is why their results are temporary. The wealthy operate on all 3 levels simultaneously, which creates permanent transformation. Andrew Carnegie shared his personal version of this method with me during our private meetings. He told me that every morning before getting dressed, he would stand in front of his mirror and declare, "I am Andrew Carnegie, steel magnate and philanthropist. I think like a steel magnate. I make decisions like a steel magnate. I serve people like a steel magnate." He said that this daily practice programmed his subconscious mind to automatically make choices that were consistent with being a successful steel magnet. Even when he faced setbacks or challenges, his identity never wavered. The universe responded to his unwavering wealthy identity by providing him with opportunities, ideas, and resources that lesser men would never recognize or receive. But here's where this gets really powerful, where science meets spirituality in a way that creates miracles. When you consistently act like wealth flows to you, you're not just changing your psychology. You're actually changing your vibration, your energetic frequency. Everything in the universe vibrates at specific frequencies. Poverty consciousness vibrates at one frequency. Wealth consciousness vibrates at a completely different frequency. When you change your vibration through the act-like method, you literally attract people, opportunities, and circumstances that vibrate at the same frequency. This is why wealthy people seem to effortlessly attract more wealth, while poor people seem to effortlessly attract more problems. It's not luck or favoritism from the universe. It's simply frequency matching. Wait until you hear what happened to the businessman who used this exact principle to go from bankruptcy to building a $50 million empire in just 18 months. His name was Clement Stone, and when I first met him, he was selling insurance door to door, barely making enough to feed his family. But he implemented the act-like method with such precision and consistency that he completely rewired his relationship with money and success. Stone told me that the method I taught him was like discovering a secret technology that wealthy people use automatically. He said it was like finally understanding the rules of a game that everyone else seemed to know instinctively. In the next section, I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step system that Stone used, that Ford used, that Edison used, and that Carnegie used to transform their financial reality permanently. But I want you to understand something first. This is not just about money. When you master the act-like principle, you're mastering the fundamental technology of reality creation. You're learning how to consciously participate in the process by which thoughts become things. What I'm about to share with you is the distillation of 25 years of research into the psychology of wealth. It's the method that has created more millionaires than any other psychological technique ever developed. Are you ready to learn the exact steps that will activate your wealth magnet and transform you into a person that money flows to naturally? Now I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step system that transforms poverty consciousness into wealth consciousness. This is the method that Carnegie paid me to discover. This is the method that Edison used to create over 1,000 patents. This is the method that Ford used to revolutionize industry. Pay close attention, because each step builds upon the previous one. Skip any step and the method will not work. Follow every step exactly as I describe, and your financial reality will transform within 30 days. Step 1. Act like you are already the person that money flows to naturally. Every morning, before you do anything else, you're going to stand in front of a mirror and declare your wealthy identity. This is not positive thinking. This is identity programming. Here's the exact script you're going to use. Write this down. I am your name, and money flows to me easily and naturally. I think like a wealthy person. I make decisions like a wealthy person. I serve others like a wealthy person. Wealth is my natural state of being. Say this aloud with conviction while looking directly into your own eyes. Do this every single morning for 30 days without fail. This declaration does 3 things simultaneously. First, it programs your subconscious mind to accept wealth as part of your identity. Second, it activates the reticular activating system in your brain to notice opportunities you previously overlooked. Third, it aligns your energy with the vibration of abundance. Clement Stone told me that this single practice changed everything for him. He said that within 1 week of doing this declaration, he started noticing opportunities that had always been there, but that he'd been blind to. Step 2, force yourself to make every decision from wealth consciousness, not poverty consciousness. Before making any decision, large or small, you're going to ask yourself this question: what would a wealthy person do in this situation? Not what would a rich person do, what would a wealthy person do? There's a difference. A wealthy person makes decisions based on long-term value creation, not short-term cost avoidance. When deciding whether to invest in yourself through education, training, or coaching, what would a wealthy person do? They would invest without hesitation because they know that investing in themselves always provides the highest return. When deciding whether to associate with negative, complaining people or positive, growth-oriented people, what would a wealthy person do? They would choose their associations based on who they want to become, not who they currently are. When deciding whether to buy the cheapest option or the best value option, what would a wealthy person do? They would consider long-term cost, not just upfront price. Step 2 is even more powerful than step 1. But first, I need you to understand why most people fail at this step. They try to make wealthy decisions while still thinking with poverty consciousness. It's like trying to drive forward while the car is in reverse. Step 3, act like abundance is your reality by changing how you speak about money. Wealthy people and poor people use completely different language patterns when discussing money. Poor people focus on what they lack. Wealthy people focus on what they're creating. Starting today, you're going to eliminate these poverty phrases from your vocabulary forever. I can't afford it becomes, how can I afford it? Money doesn't grow on trees becomes, money flows where value flows. I'm broke becomes, I'm between investments. That's too expensive becomes, is that the best value? This might seem like a small change, but it's actually rewiring your brain at the deepest level. Your subconscious mind believes everything you tell it. When you constantly speak poverty language, you're programming yourself for poverty results. When you consistently speak abundance language, you're programming yourself for abundance results. The universe responds to your dominant language patterns. Step 4. Do this every day. Embody the daily habits and routines of wealthy people. Wealthy people have different daily habits than poor people. They invest time in personal development instead of entertainment. They network with other successful people instead of complaining with unsuccessful people. They focus on income-generating activities instead of time-wasting activities. Starting immediately, you're going to adopt these wealthy person habits. Read 30 minutes of educational material daily. Spend 30 minutes planning your financial future. Connect with one person who can advance your career or business. Work on your most important income-generating activity first, each day. These habits might seem small, but they compound exponentially over time. The person who reads 30 minutes daily has read 50-plus books by the end of the year. The person who networks with one quality person daily has 365 new valuable relationships. Poor people focus on immediate gratification. Wealthy people focus on compound growth. Steps 4 and 5 work together to create what I call wealth momentum. But step 5 is the most powerful part of the entire system. It's the step that Rockefeller credited with making him the richest man in America. Step 5. Force yourself to serve others at a higher level than your current financial position would suggest. This is the secret that separates temporary financial success from permanent wealth building. Wealthy people understand that money is simply a measure of the value you provide to others. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" wealthy people ask, "How can I provide more value?" The money follows automatically when the value increases. Here's how to implement this immediately. Look for ways to provide more value in your current job or business than you're being paid for. Anticipate problems and solve them before they become crises. Go above and beyond what's expected. If you're an employee, act like an owner. If you're a business owner, act like a servant leader. If you're a service provider, act like a trusted advisor. Rockefeller told me that his greatest insight was realizing that his wealth was directly proportional to the number of people he served. The more people he helped achieve their goals, the more his own wealth increased. This is the divine law of compensation. You can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. Step 6. Act like your wealthy future self by spending 20 minutes daily in wealth visualization. This is not wishful thinking or fantasy. This is mental rehearsal, the same technique used by Olympic athletes to improve performance. Every evening before sleep, you're going to visualize your life as if you've already achieved your financial goals. See yourself living in your ideal home, driving your ideal car, having your ideal bank balance. But here's the key, don't just see the images. Feel the emotions of already having achieved these goals. Experience the confidence, the peace of mind, the sense of contribution, the joy of financial freedom. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real experience. When you repeatedly visualize yourself as wealthy, you're programming your mind to make choices that create that reality. Step 7, do this immediately. Create an environment that supports wealth consciousness. Your environment is constantly programming your subconscious mind. If your environment reflects poverty consciousness, it will keep you stuck in poverty patterns. Remove or replace everything in your immediate environment that reflects scarcity or lack. Add elements that reflect abundance and success. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have. It means making choices that align with where you're going, not where you've been. Read books written by successful people, not books about problems and complaints. Listen to educational content, not negative news. Surround yourself with images and reminders of your financial goals. Most importantly, spend time with people who think bigger than your current circumstances, not people who want to keep you at their comfort level. Now, here's how all 7 steps work together to create rapid transformation. When you do step 1, identity declaration, you're programming your conscious mind. When you do step 2, wealthy decisions, you're programming your behavioral patterns. When you do step 3, abundance language, you're programming your subconscious mind. Steps 4 through 7 create the environmental and emotional conditions that support the first 3 steps. Together they create what I call total wealth embodiment. Here's what to expect. In the first week, you'll notice increased awareness of opportunities you previously overlooked. In the second week, you'll start making different choices automatically. By the third week, other people will begin to notice changes in your energy and confidence. By the fourth week, 30 days from now, you'll have become a different person, a person that money flows to naturally, a person who thinks, acts, and vibrates at the frequency of wealth. Let me tell you what happened to Clement Stone when he implemented this exact system. Remember, Stone was selling insurance door to door, barely surviving financially. Within 30 days of implementing these 7 steps, Stone's sales increased by 400%. Within 6 months, he was the top salesperson in his company. Within 18 months, he had started his own insurance company. But here's the most remarkable part. Stone told me that the external changes happened automatically once he mastered the internal changes. He didn't try harder or work more hours. He simply became a different person, a person that success was attracted to. Stone used this method to build a $100 million empire, but more importantly, he became the type of person who could build and maintain that level of wealth. The money was just the external reflection of his internal transformation. This is what happens when you master the act-like method. You don't just get more money, you become the type of person who naturally attracts and keeps money. These 7 steps form the foundation of the wealth magnet method. But there are advanced techniques that can accelerate your results even faster. Techniques that I shared only with Carnegie's inner circle. Techniques that can compress years of financial growth into months of focused application. But before I share these advanced techniques, I need to address the objections and fears that will try to stop you from implementing this method. Because your biggest enemy is not lack of opportunity. It's the voice in your head that will try to talk you out of acting like the wealthy person you're destined to become. Are you ready to destroy every excuse and objection that's been keeping you stuck in financial mediocrity? Right now, your mind is generating dozens of reasons why this method won't work for you. Your ego is creating sophisticated arguments to protect the familiar identity of struggle and scarcity. Let me destroy every objection before it stops you from transforming your financial reality forever. Objection. But Napoleon, won't I look fake if I act wealthy when I'm not? This objection reveals the fundamental misunderstanding that keeps people poor. You think you have to wait until you're wealthy to act wealthy. But that's exactly backwards. Every wealthy person started by acting wealthy before they became wealthy. Andrew Carnegie acted like a steel magnate before he owned a single steel mill. Thomas Edison acted like a successful inventor before he created a single successful invention. The question is not whether you're being fake. The question is whether you're being authentic to your potential or authentic to your limitations. When you act poor, you're being authentic to your current circumstances but false to your potential. When you act wealthy, you're being authentic to your potential but false to your current circumstances. Which authenticity serves your highest good? Which authenticity serves the people you're meant to help? Which authenticity honors the divine spark of greatness within you? Objection. What will people think if I start acting differently? Here's what I discovered. The people who judge you for improving yourself are the same people who will judge you for not improving yourself. You can't win with small-minded people, so stop trying. More importantly, the people whose opinions actually matter, successful people, will respect you for having the courage to grow beyond your current circumstances. Every successful person I studied faced criticism from family and friends when they started acting like the person they wanted to become instead of the person they were. Henry Ford's neighbors thought he was crazy for spending time on horseless carriages instead of working a regular job. Thomas Edison was called a fool for trying to create light from electricity. Andrew Carnegie was criticized for having ambitious goals beyond his humble origins. The criticism didn't stop them, it confirmed they were on the right path. Objection. What if I try this method and it doesn't work? This objection is based on a false premise. The method cannot fail. It can only be implemented incorrectly or inconsistently. Let me ask you this. What's the cost of not trying this method? What's the cost of continuing to act like a poor person for the rest of your life? What's the cost of never discovering your true financial potential? Here's what I learned from studying over 16,000 successful people. Every single one of them failed multiple times before achieving lasting success. but they never failed at being the person they chose to become. You can fail at a business venture and still succeed at being a wealthy person. You can fail at an investment and still succeed at being an abundant person. You can fail at a specific opportunity and still succeed at being the type of person that opportunities flow to. The method doesn't prevent failure. It ensures that failure becomes a stepping stone to success instead of a reason to quit. Objection. But what if focusing on wealth makes me lose sight of what's really important? This objection comes from the false belief that money and spirituality are incompatible. But I discovered exactly the opposite. The most spiritual thing you can do is develop your capacity to serve others at the highest level. Money is simply a tool for service. Wealth is simply expanded capacity for contribution. When you develop wealth consciousness, you're developing your ability to make a greater difference in the world. Every great spiritual teacher throughout history understood the principle of abundance. Jesus said, "I have come that they might have life and have it more abundantly." The Buddha taught about the middle path that includes material well-being. The Bible says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth." Poverty is not spiritual, it's selfish. When you're struggling financially, all your energy goes to survival. When you're abundant financially, your energy can go to service. Objection. This seems like too big a change. What if I lose myself? You're not going to lose yourself, you're going to find yourself. The person you are now is not the real you. The real you is the person you become when you remove the limitations, fears, and conditioning that have been keeping you small. The self you're afraid of losing is actually the collection of limitations, fears, and scarcity beliefs that have been holding you back. Why would you want to keep those? Every successful person I studied went through periods of identity transformation. They had to let go of who they were in order to become who they were meant to be. This process is not comfortable, but it's necessary. Caterpillars don't become butterflies by getting more comfortable being caterpillars. They have to dissolve their current identity completely in order to emerge as something entirely new. Objection. I need to understand everything perfectly before I start. This objection is just sophisticated procrastination. You don't need to understand how electricity works to flip a light switch. You don't need to understand how your car engine works to drive to your destination. You don't need to understand every aspect of wealth psychology to start acting like a wealthy person. You just need to start implementing the method and let the results teach you what you need to know. The people who become wealthy are not the ones who understand wealth theory the best. They're the ones who implement wealth practices most consistently. Analysis is important, but it cannot replace action. Understanding is valuable, but it cannot replace embodiment. Thinking about wealth consciousness is interesting, but it cannot replace acting from wealth consciousness. Objection. This isn't the right time for me to focus on wealth building. When is the right time? When you're older? When the economy is better? When you have more experience? When you feel more confident? Here's the truth. There will never be a perfect time to transform your relationship with money. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be circumstances that seem to justify postponing your financial growth. The cost of waiting is compound. Every day you delay implementing this method, you're not just losing that day's potential growth. You're losing the compound effect of that growth over months and years. A person who starts building wealth consciousness at age 25 has a completely different financial trajectory than someone who starts at age 45. Not because of the time difference, but because of the compound effect of thinking and acting like a wealthy person for an additional 20 years. Every objection you have is simply your current identity trying to protect itself from transformation. Your ego knows that if you successfully implement this method, the person you are now will cease to exist. But that person, the person struggling with money, the person settling for less, the person making excuses, that person is not serving you. That person is keeping you trapped in a life far below your true potential. It's time to let that person go. It's time to become the person you were born to be. It's time to act like the wealthy, successful, abundant person that exists within you, waiting to be expressed. Are you ready to take immediate action and transform your financial reality forever? Do not wait until tomorrow. Do not wait until next week. Do not wait until you feel ready or until conditions are perfect. Right now, as you're listening to these words, successful people around the world are implementing the exact method I've just shared with you. While you're hesitating, they're acting. While you're overthinking, they're embodying. While you're making excuses, they're making progress. The window of opportunity for implementing this method is not unlimited. Every day you delay, your current identity becomes more entrenched. Every day you wait, your poverty programming becomes more resistant to change. Every day you hesitate, you're literally programming yourself to remain stuck at your current financial level. But every day you implement this method, you're programming yourself for wealth. Every day you act like money flows to you naturally. You're activating the wealth magnet in your subconscious mind. Right now, as you listen to this, there are people half your age earning twice your income using these exact principles. There are people with fewer advantages, fewer connections, and less experience who are building the wealth you dream about. They're not smarter than you. They're not luckier than you. They're not more deserving than you. The only difference is that they decided to act like wealthy people before they became wealthy people. Here's what you're going to do in the next 24 hours, not next week, not when you feel ready. In the next 24 hours, tonight, before you go to sleep, you're going to do step 6, the wealth magnet visualization. Spend 20 minutes visualizing yourself as already having achieved your financial goals. Feel the emotions of financial freedom. Experience the confidence of abundance. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, you're going to do step 1, the wealthy identity declaration. Look in the mirror and declare your identity as a person that money flows to naturally. For the next 30 days, you're going to implement all 7 steps of the wealth magnet method without exception, without negotiation, without making excuses. This is not a suggestion. This is not something to try when you feel like it. This is a 30-day commitment to transforming your relationship with money forever. Write this commitment down. For the next 30 days, I commit to acting like money flows to me naturally. I commit to thinking, speaking, and behaving like a wealthy person regardless of my current circumstances. Now, make this commitment public. Tell someone you trust about your 30-day wealth magnet challenge. Better yet, find someone to do it with you. Social accountability increases your probability of success by over 400%. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who try harder. They're the ones who make it impossible to quit by creating accountability systems. Let me make the cost of not taking action crystal clear. Every month you don't implement this method, you're potentially leaving $5,000 on the table in increased income opportunities. That's $60,000 on $120,000 per year in lost wealth building potential. But that's not even the real cost. The real cost is the compound effect over your lifetime. The wealth consciousness you don't develop this year could have created millions of dollars over the next 20 years. The confidence you don't build now affects every future opportunity. The identity you don't transform today determines your financial ceiling for years to come. Here's what successful implementation looks like. Within 7 days, you'll notice increased confidence and opportunity awareness. Within 14 days, you'll start making different financial decisions automatically. Within 21 days, other people will notice changes in your energy and presence. Within 30 days, you'll have become a fundamentally different person, a person that money flows to naturally, a person who thinks, acts, and vibrates at the frequency of wealth. But this only happens if you start today. This only happens if you commit completely. This only happens if you act like your financial future depends on what you do in the next 24 hours, because it does. 1 year from today, you'll look back on this moment as either the turning point when everything changed, or the missed opportunity that you'll regret for the rest of your life. 5 years from today, you'll either be living the abundant lifestyle you dream about, or you'll be having the same financial struggles you're having right now, wondering what would have happened if you had taken action when you had the chance. The choice is yours. The method is proven. The results are guaranteed, but only if you implement completely and consistently. Are you going to act like the wealthy person you're meant to become, or are you going to continue acting like the financially struggling person you've been? The universe is waiting for your answer. Your future self is waiting for your decision. Your family's financial security is waiting for your commitment. What's it going to be? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine with me. 1 year from now, when you've faithfully implemented the wealth magnet method for 365 consecutive days, your life looks completely different. You wake up in the morning without financial stress. You check your bank account and feel excitement instead of anxiety. You make decisions based on what you want to create, not what you think you can afford. You're living in a home that reflects your wealthy identity, not necessarily a mansion, but a space that supports your highest self. Your car is reliable and reflects success. Your clothes make you feel confident and powerful, but more importantly, your internal experience has transformed completely. You move through the world with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that money flows to them naturally. You approach opportunities with the certainty of someone who expects success. Your relationships have evolved. You've naturally gravitated toward other growth-oriented, successful people. You've distanced yourself from the complainers, the excuse makers, and the dream stealers who used to drain your energy. Your family members notice the change in you. They see your confidence, your optimism, your success, and they start asking you for advice. You've become the person others look up to, the person others want to emulate. In your career or business, you're operating at a completely different level. If you're an employee, you're the person management turns to for important projects. You're the person who gets promoted, who gets raises, who gets opportunities. If you're a business owner, you're attracting better clients, charging higher prices, and creating multiple streams of income. You're making decisions from abundance instead of scarcity, and your business is thriving as a result. Your bank account reflects your new identity, not just because you're earning more money, but because you're managing money like a wealthy person. You're investing in yourself, in your future, in opportunities that create compound growth. You have multiple streams of income. You have investments that are growing. You have financial security that allows you to sleep peacefully at night and make decisions from clarity instead of desperation. When you walk into a room, people notice. There's something different about your energy, your presence, your confidence. You speak with authority. You carry yourself with dignity. You radiate the quiet power of someone who has mastered themselves. You're no longer apologizing for your dreams or making excuses for your ambitions. You're no longer seeking approval or permission from others to pursue your goals. You know who you are, and you act from that knowing. Your increased wealth consciousness has expanded your capacity to serve others. You're contributing to causes you care about. You're helping family members achieve their goals. You're creating jobs or opportunities for other people. You realize that wealth was never just about you. It was about your ability to make a difference in the world. Money has become a tool for service, and abundance has become a platform for contribution. You've discovered that developing wealth consciousness is actually a spiritual practice. You've learned to co-create with the universe. You've learned to trust in divine abundance. You've learned that you are worthy of success, prosperity, and all good things. Your relationship with money is no longer based on fear or struggle. It's based on gratitude and stewardship. You understand that you're not just getting wealthy for yourself, but for everyone whose life you touch. 1 year from now, you'll look back on today, this exact moment, as the day everything changed. You'll remember listening to these words and making the decision to act like money flows to you naturally. You'll remember the fear you felt, the excitement you felt, and the courage it took to start embodying a new identity before you had evidence that it would work. You'll remember deciding to trust the method and commit to the process. And you'll be grateful that you had the wisdom to recognize truth when you heard it. Grateful that you had the courage to act despite your fears. Grateful that you chose to become the person you were born to be instead of settling for the person circumstances had made you. People will ask you what changed. They'll want to know your secret, and you'll tell them about the day you decided to stop acting poor and start acting wealthy, even though nothing in your external circumstances had changed yet. Your children or future children will grow up with a completely different relationship with money because of the example you're setting. Your family's financial destiny will be transformed for generations because of the identity you're choosing to embody today. This is bigger than just your personal success. This is about breaking generational patterns of limitation and creating generational patterns of abundance. This is your moment. This is your opportunity. This is your time to step into the wealthy identity that has been waiting within you your entire life. Are you ready to claim it? Are you ready to claim it? Are you ready to claim it? Everything you need to transform your financial reality forever has been laid out before you. The method that created Carnegie's steel empire, the principle that built Ford's automotive dynasty, the psychology that drove Edison's creative genius. The wealth magnet method is not theory, it is proven technology for transforming poverty consciousness into wealth consciousness. It is the distillation of 25 years of research into the psychology of wealth. It is the secret that separates those who struggle for money from those who attract it effortlessly. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to continued financial struggle, continued limitation, continued settling for less than you're capable of achieving. The other path leads to abundance, contribution, and the fulfillment of your highest potential. You cannot take both paths. You cannot partially commit to wealth consciousness while maintaining poverty patterns. You cannot act wealthy on weekends while acting poor during the week. The wealth magnet method requires total commitment. It requires you to act like money flows to you naturally every single day, regardless of your current circumstances. It requires you to embody wealth consciousness even when your bank account doesn't reflect it yet. But when you make this commitment, when you decide to act like the wealthy person you're meant to become, the universe will respond in ways that will absolutely amaze you. Opportunities will appear, ideas will come to you, people will be drawn to your energy. If you're ready to transform your financial reality forever, here's what I need you to do right now. First, comment "I am ready" below this video if you're committed to implementing the wealth magnet method for the next 30 days. This is your public declaration of commitment. Second, subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the advanced wealth consciousness training that I'll be releasing exclusively for committed students. Third, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Share it with someone who's been struggling financially. Share it with someone who has big dreams but has been afraid to pursue them. Share it with someone who's ready to step into their power. When you share this knowledge, you're not just helping others, you're reinforcing the principles in your own mind. You're acting like someone who has valuable knowledge to share. You're embodying wealth consciousness through generosity. Fourth, watch this video again tomorrow and again next week. Each time you listen to these principles, you'll discover new insights. Each time you hear these words, they'll penetrate deeper into your subconscious mind. The most successful students of wealth consciousness don't just learn these principles once. They immerse themselves in them until they become automatic, unconscious patterns. Let me know in the comments what resonated most with you from this training. Tell me which of the 7 steps you're most excited to implement. Share your commitment to the 30-day Wealth Magnet Challenge. When you engage with this content and this community, you're surrounding yourself with other people who are committed to growth, success, and abundance. You're creating the environmental support that makes transformation inevitable. Remember who you really are. You are not someone who struggles with money. You are not someone who settles for mediocrity. You are not someone who apologizes for wanting more. You are someone that money flows to naturally. You are someone who creates value in the world. You are someone who deserves abundance, success, and prosperity. The method works. The principles are sound. The results are guaranteed if you implement completely and consistently. Your wealthy future self is calling to you across time, asking you to have the courage to act like the person you're destined to become. The universe is ready to respond to your new identity. The question is, are you ready to embody it? Act like money flows to you naturally. Start today. Start right now. Your transformation begins the moment you decide it does. I'll see you in the next training where we'll dive even deeper into the advanced techniques that can accelerate your results exponentially. Until then, remember, you were born for greatness. You were created for abundance. You were designed for success. Now go act like it.